Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the FCM36PAK40. It's a Tier 3 French premium tank destroyer. It's located on the southwest spawn of Arctic region under the command of Horrorfiend of BLDMN. Game on! Well, the FCM36PAK40, which is in the French territory, is actually a German tank destroyer, captured by the French, by the Germans rather. The FCM36 was a very strong tank, but the Germans had a habit of actually turning tanks that they captured, called Panzer or prize panzers, and converting them into another kind of tank. And in fact, this one had a PAK40 gun, the 75mm main gun, which is an anti-tank gun capable of 110 alpha and penetrating 98mm of armor. It was actually quite a fearsome tank to come across because it actually had a very fast fire rate of 3.61 seconds per round. And let's have a look and see. Well, can't see the reload time here. It's not showing on the screen, but I'm pretty sure that Horrorfiend's got a much lower reload rate than 3.61. Now, the PAK40 gun, if you've ever seen it in action, there are videos on YouTube, you can actually see it, and it is incredibly powerful. It will go through most Allied tanks of the time. It will actually literally carve a hole straight through them because it was very high velocity. Now you can see here, there's the figures, and you can see as well 790 meters per second on the fire rate. But at that time, it was basically point and shoot at the enemy, and you could normally get very good hits. But it is at extreme range there, and you can just see that that enemy tank is actually about 440 meters, 449 meters away. So he's actually at almost maximum range. The view range for this tank destroyer is 400 meters, so it does rely on teammates to actually spot for him beyond that range. If you look at the ring map, you can see that he's using binos to increase his view range quite a bit. Now, that was a bit premature. He was hoping the guy was going to go through the gap. You can see how the shell is arcing as well to reach the target. And we're not doing so well at the moment. There's a reduced numbers game, and we're kind of short on the players. We have got bots involved as well. The T2 and the FCM36 on our team are actually bots. And there's a few bots on the enemy team as well. Oh, gets a nice shot there into the V440. And that one puts him out the game. There's a T10 we were seeing earlier. He puts that guy out. So he's got 2 kills now. And now he's starting to take out the Panzer. S35, another premium tank. So he's up to 3 kills, but there's only 6 left on his team, and there is an enemy tank fairly close by him. A T127 has actually managed to get very close, but he's very low on hit points, and one shot should be enough to take out that T127. As you can see, all the other tanks in the team have actually gone away from their cap, and he's basically the only one left guarding his cap at the moment. Now, this vehicle isn't particularly fast. In fact, 24 kilometers an hour is the maximum speed. Armor-wise, it's also fairly thin because it's got 40mm at the front, 20 at the sides, 20 at the rear, but the gun shield is, well, it's almost paper thin. And if you get a hit on that, it's almost certainly going to go through. Now, we don't know where this G127 went, but he's certainly not in there. He might have gone back along the gully, but I would have thought we would have seen that. In fact, he's showing on the minimap now, but our T2, which is one of the bots, has just come back to try and kill him and got wiped out. So now this T127 is directly ahead of us. In fact, there's only 2 left on our team, a 10TP, who's gone all the way round to the far east of the map and is trying to reach the enemy cap along that path, south route, whilst we're trying to take out that T127 and prevent the enemy coming in from the north. So it's 2 versus 5 at the moment, and I doubt that 10 TP will last very long. He hasn't got much in the way of hit points. Here comes the T127, Soviet-like tank that never got built, but it's very light on hit points at the moment. One shot's enough to take him out. You can almost feel the force of that PAK40 gun. If you ever look at the video of a PAK40 firing, they actually took one in, or they had one out in the American desert, and they fired some of these 75mm rounds, and the thing literally leapt into the air as it fired. It had so much force behind the shells, kicked up dust all around it. You felt that if that had been a real PAK40, well, in action, you'd know that any enemy tank it came up against didn't stand a chance of surviving. Now he's parked himself behind this bush because he can actually see if the D1 comes at him from the other direction, and he can get shots on the enemy under the cover of the bush. But the way things are set out at the moment, that M3GFT, the Chinese tank destroyer, is sitting behind one of the rocks there just up ahead, and he's lost sight of it now. He can see an FCM36, which is the tank basically that was used as the carrier for this vehicle, the PAK40 gun. Of course, they had to lock the turret off and just use the hull, but it was the donor for the vehicle. There he is. Now his sixth sense will be going off, telling him he's been spotted. That shell would have hit the ground near him, and that probably would have told him that he was being fired on. And of course his sixth sense would go off if he ever got spotted again. So at the moment we can't see any of the enemy tanks. Our 10 TP got wiped out, but not before the T127 on the enemy team went down. And you can see one of the shells from that T127 appeared to go through the breach. There's a big red mark there now. That FCM, he's retreating actually, he's going away from us, and he does get a hit and a high roll on that one, and another one. Now he's a one shot. If you've been wondering where the videos have been for the past few days, I haven't been so well, unfortunately, and I've not been able to get any done. So that's the reason behind it. Now the M3GFT is making a bit of a mistake here, because of course he was spotted, and now he's making himself an easy target. He knows where we are now, but it's too late, and he's out the game. Well, with no enemies ahead of us, we can return. Oh, now the D1 decided to bypass us and went down the gully and tried to come up behind us. There's the Panzer 39. He's firing rounds accurately into us from some distance away, but he's trying to avoid us hitting him, you see. And now he's a one shot. Okay, so we are spotted by the D1 on a proximity spot because he's below 50 meters. In fact, he's about 39 meters. The FCM36 is trying to get closer, but so long as that D1 is there, we are spotted, and now the D1 is firing into us. Okay, he's firing automatic fire into us, but now he's out the game. We've still got a number of hit points left, so we're still in with a fight. You've got to remember that some of these enemy tanks out there are now one-shots. It's all gone very quiet. And hello there! The FCM36 comes into sight. We didn't get the second shell in, but we bounced the shell that came from the FCM himself. He's making a big mistake if he tries to do that. And he's out the game. We're down to just 69 hit points now. So we're kind of on the low hit points ourselves. But so long as we stay within cover, we should be okay and be able to take out the enemy. I would suggest the best thing that Horrorfiend could do would be actually to stay close to these bushes and wait for the enemy to come to him. The question is though, will that Panzer 39 or 39 actually come forward? He might not want to do so. He might well have actually pulled back because he was uncertain that he could beat the FCM36PAK40. Got plenty of ammo. You notice that Horrorfiend's mostly been using standard rounds. You don't really need to use the premium rounds in this vehicle. No sign of him at all. It's very possible that it is possible that that guy is waiting in ambush for us rather than the other way. No joy. Well, we've got 2 minutes 25 seconds left on the clock. And we're not a one shot actually, so we could keep going. If I look down below, you can see that the Panzer wagon, when he did actually fire on us, see, around about 35 hit points of damage. Oh, I suppose there you could say that, oh, that's the shots that we fired at him. No, it's about 35 hit points of damage per shot. So we could take 2 shots from the enemy. Near enough. Had the 2-minute warning. It might be a good idea for Horrorfiend to actually move a little closer to the water and see if he's on the coast. Did he go in that direction? Of course, if he's smart, he probably would have gone all the way around, because he was last seen in the gully, and he might have gone all the way around and tried to come at us from the north. We're rapidly approaching, only 1 minute to go. There's the 1 minute horn. It must be very off-putting for the Panzer wagon to actually be in a position where he knows that this vehicle could take him out with just 1 round. Of course, trying to get to the enemy cap is next to impossible. No, I don't think he's going to come, and I think Horrorfiend's decided that he's going to accept a draw. I'll leave it at that. And that's it. Game's over. It's a draw. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Horrorfiend in the FCM36PAK40. He managed to get a master gunner for getting 5 armor penetrating shots in a row, a duelist for taking out 2 tanks who damaged him, a fire throw pick for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, and he also picked up a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he ended up with 7, which is 1 short of a Radleys, but he wouldn't have earned a Radleys even if he had got 8 kills, because you can't get a Radleys below tier 5, and this was a tier 3 game. His win rate was 10,281, which is super Unicum standard and quite a bit more, and shows the power of the PAK 40. He did get the highest damage in the game, 1,780 hit points. Second highest was the 10 TP, managed 1,089. And the third highest damage actually went to the Panzer S35, another premium tank on the enemy team, who got a cool-headed in that one, and 925 hit points of damage. The Sahariano also got a cool-headed, and the M2 Light as well. Oh, in fact, actually, he got a Confederate, not a cool-headed. When it came to kills, we can see the highest number was 7. 4 kills went to the M3 GFT, and 3 kills went to the Panzer S35. When it came to base XP, he also got the highest on that. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 838 base experience points went to Horrorfiend. And then after that, it was the Panzer S35 with 514 and the T127 with 454. He fired 28 rounds in that game, 19 direct hits on the enemy, 19 penetrations. Just goes to show, whatever this thing hits, it normally carves straight through. He also got 1,780 hit points, of which 1,315 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see it's a long-range hitter. 17 hits received from the enemy, only 11 of which actually penetrated. They were trying to go for the gun shield, but they didn't actually always hit the right spot. 6 non-penetrations as well, 94 hit points of damage blocked by armor. If those rounds had actually been hits, he would have been out the game. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 7 killed. The one that wasn't killed, of course, was the Panzer 39. And he also earned 38,008 credits profit. And you can see most of it down to the fact that he used standard ammunition. He didn't have to pay for the consumables, but you can see he did get the Courageous Resistance Award as well, because, of course, he did get a medal in a drawn or a lost game. He also picked up 4,176 experience points out of the game as well. And you can see all the awards there as well. So, yes, it was a profitable game. A very good game at that. Hope you enjoyed that one. He actually put up a rather amusing tale of how most of his teammates died. And then as soon as the enemy came within range of his gun, he made all the enemy die. Except, of course, for that one tank that got away. And that's normally what happens when you get a draw like this, is that one tank gets away and all the others die in the process. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.